Hey, what's up? Simon Kelly here. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do some really simple keyword research. Now, keyword research is important if you're someone that produces content or you own a blog or a website and you want to rank higher in Google and other search engines. And you want some more relevant traffic to be coming to your website, more customers, more leads, and all of that good stuff. So I'm going to show you a really simple keyword research process that I use, and I'm just going to use free tools to make this as accessible and easy as possible. This video was really inspired by a good friend of mine who has a travel blog and is wanting to increase the rankings on that, and he's asking me a few questions about how to do it, and I was letting him know a bit about keyword research. So this is to help him as well to be able to put all that together. So let's dive in. So the first place that I go when I get started with keyword research is just to Google. Now you might notice that I'm in an incognito window. Like I'm using Chrome at the moment, which has incognito window. Firefox and Safari, they both have private browsing mode, which means that Google isn't looking into your search history or your data or your account to craft the Google search results, which it does. If you're in incognito or private browsing mode, it's not looking as much at your browsing history and all those things. It's still doing some crafty things, but it's more clean than if you're signed in. Because when I use this feature called autocomplete, which is, when you type into Google, it kind of like autocompletes the search. So if you were to be signed in, it would use your search history. So I don't want that. So the keyword that my mate was trying to rank for was to do with gorilla tours in Africa. So what I do is I just start really broad. So I'm just going to type in gorilla and see what comes up. So I just type gorilla and then space, and then we've got glue, tape, tripod. So nothing really useful there. So I'm going to try Africa. So, okay. Gorilla Africa tours, Gorilla African guest house, doesn't really seem relevant there. Jungle, maybe. So Africa tours is looking pretty good. So space. So now I've got gorillas Rwanda tours, Rwanda gorilla tour cost, luxury, price. Okay, so we're getting some more keywords here. So this is helping me to form an idea about the kinds of things people are likely to search for. So as I'm building up this kind of information, I'm getting a clearer picture on what kind of content I'll probably put within this article. So Gorilla Africa Tour. So cost, price, location, Rwanda, Uganda, TripAdvisor, these kinds of things seem like they'd be quite useful because it's coming up in this autocomplete, which indicates it's pretty likely that people are searching for this. So I'm just going to go back to Gorilla now and type in Trek. So we've got Gorilla Trek Africa, trekking Uganda. So it seems like Uganda and Rwanda are the places for this. Tours, Kentucky, not really relevant here. So I'm going to go trekking and see what comes up. Reviews, okay. Best time of year, that is interesting. Okay, so we'll go trekking. Oh no, we'll go Trek Africa and then space. Reviews has come up again. Prices, and then the locations have come up. So locations seem like they're everywhere, so that's definitely important. Okay, so I've been searching quite a few things here. Now I've stored a couple of things just in my head, but I've also got a spreadsheet to make it much easier to actually put all this research somewhere. So I've just got a really simple template. I'll start off by just putting in the topic/group, and I'll say like gorilla treks, for example. And then I'll just type in all the keywords that are coming up in the autocomplete quite high, and they're coming up and they're relevant as well to what we're going to be writing about. Because later on, we're going to look at the volume of searches that people are doing per month, the cost per click, which in Google, you've got at the top, you've got the ads. People pay cost per click for those ads. And then below that, you've got what's called organic results, which is search engine optimization. So what are people paying for cost per click? It gives you an idea about how competitive this keyword or key phrase is. And then paid difficulty. So how difficult is it to rank if you're paying for the cost per click? And then SD, which is SEO difficulty. So how difficult would it be to rank if you were trying to rank organically in the organic terms there. And then position, so if you do rank already, then I just put the position in there in the top 10 or whatever it might be. So this is what I do for my clients when we're doing this keyword research. But first of all, just put in the topic and then the keywords that we're researching at the moment. And then in a moment, we're going to move over to the to fill in these details. So from here, we've got guerrilla trekking, we've got the locations. Now we want to get some of this data so we can get an actual idea about how many people are searching for this stuff and how difficult it's likely to be to rank for it. So the tool I really like to use is called Ubersuggest. So you can just type in like ubersuggest.com. So it'll take you here. And then you can just type in the keyword. So I'm just going to go guerrilla trekking. And I'm just going to leave it as English United States for now, but you can change the country there. I do recommend logging in, but I'm not going to at this point because I do have this open in another window. So I'm logged in here. Guerrilla, whoops. So I do recommend creating a free account and logging in for this. There is a free version and a paid version, and I'm sure with the free version they'll probably try to market you and get you to buy the premium version, but I haven't experienced that yet, which is good, but the free version is awesome. I've been using it for quite a while now. Okay, we have search volume, the difficulty, paid difficulty, cost per click. Great. We've got the data that we want here. We've also got a graph that shows how this is trending over time, which is awesome as well because I'm seeing this going up. Fantastic. It could be something that's seasonal because it's travel related. It's highly likely that it's seasonal. Okay, we've got the age range of the people that are searching. So you get to know your type of audience, which is important for the way that you write your content. You've got here the SEO results versus the paid results here as well, and no clicks at all. And then we've got keyword ideas, which is fantastic. So this shows this keyword against other keywords that are similar or related, and you can see the search volume, cost per click, the difficulty against each other, so you can compare and contrast and choose the one that's going to be most relevant for you, because it might be that something is more relevant and has better search volume. And then you've got some content ideas here, which shows different kinds of content and how shared it is on social media. So not just about search engine optimization, but how likely is this to go viral, get lots of shares, to be just popular generally. But because we're talking SEO, the keyword ideas is what I'm interested in here. So I'm going to go view all keyword ideas. All right. So we have guerrilla trekking for 80 is the search volume versus 720 for guerrilla trekking in Uganda. So being specific seems to be better for volume. Same with Rwanda. But then if we've got Rwanda versus Uganda, not a lot of people are searching, but also it's not that difficult to rank for that. Okay. Then we've got guerrilla trekking in Africa. So that's not as difficult, but also not that many people are searching, and it's very competitive when it comes to the cost per click. All right, cool. So I wanted to see if I can have a look at some other high volume search terms. So I might try guerrilla tours. We'll just go tour and see what happens there. All right, so guerrilla tour, and then the gorillas on tour, which is not relevant. Just something about, I keep mentioning like relevance and volume here. There's really like three key things that are important when it comes to keywords. It's volume, like how many people are actually searching for this. It's difficulty, which is how likely is it that you're going to be able to climb up the search engine rankings for this. And then relevance, which is how relevant is it if you were to rank for this, that someone's actually going to visit your website, and it's a keyword that's important to them, and they'll read your content or they'll purchase the thing that you've got. So just a bit more on relevance. If you wanted to rank if you were a shoe shop, let's say, and you wanted to rank for the keyword shoes, sure, that could have a lot of volume, that would have a huge amount of volume, but it would have volume for things like cleaning shoes or shoes for kids or shoes for hiking or all these different kinds of shoes, shoes with orthotics. but you may only have children's shoes or something like that in your shop. So it's not going to be as relevant just to rank for shoes. And it'll be incredibly competitive as well, because Wikipedia is usually number one when it comes to these really, really broad key phrases. So relevance is important, and you want to be looking at these longer key phrases that are much more specific, much more relevant to get started, because they're not going to be as competitive, even if the search volume is a little bit lower. So something to keep in mind in there. All right, so when we're looking at the gorilla tour, we've still got the location, seems to be quite important there, Rwanda, whatever Biscuits tour is, no idea. The time frame, so, oh no, that's gorillas again. Gorilla Trek Rwanda, Gorilla Trek Uganda, Gorilla Tours, Safari. All right, I might try that actually. Gorilla Safari. Okay, so not quite as high. So it seems like, well, it definitely seems to show that gorilla trekking is key. So gorilla trekking with the location, that seems to be very important. So really, for this article, if it was related to gorilla trekking in Uganda, I would definitely put that in the title, and I'd be talking about TripAdvisor, I'd be talking about costs, I'd be using the word safari, I'd be using the location, I'd still be mentioning things like Safari in this article. I'd do some research into some of these top ranking articles as well, and seeing what kinds of things they're talking about. And that's how I would kind of craft what this content is going to be. So I'm just going to come back over here and just show you one other tool that's that I use as well, and it's the Google Trends tool. So you can explore what the world is searching for, and you can see how it's trending over time. So I'm just going to go gorilla trekking. All right, to see if there's anything seasonal. So I'm just going to go worldwide as well. And just to add some other keywords there, go gorilla trek. I'll go gorilla tour. Oops. Oh. So now we can see these different keywords over time, but also side by side. They're quite similar, but we've got blue. So gorilla trekking with more volume and actually increasing. And I'm just going to set it to the past 5 years so we can see if there's any kind of seasonality going on here. All right, so it looks like we've got a bit of a spike there in January, and there's a little bit of a spike again in January, and then again in January. So it seems like there are spikes around the new year, and then there's a couple of other related queries there, so that can just really help to fine-tune this keyword and just what you know about this keyword, so you can produce better content. So that's how I go about doing the keyword research initially. Then I'll actually put the keywords into a keyword tool so I can track the ranking of this as I'm producing content, because I want to see how that changes over time. When it comes to producing content for keywords, it's less about creating like that one piece of content that's going to rank for that keyword. It's more about producing a portfolio of content that supports that keyword. So if we're talking about gorilla trekking, we don't just want one article called gorilla trekking, we'd want an article about best gorilla treks in Africa, or gorilla trekking in Uganda, gorilla trekking in Rwanda, cheap places to stay while on a gorilla trek. So all of these different pieces of content together are going to create the body of work that's going to help you rank for this particular keyword, this particular key phrase. It's not just about having that one piece of content. All right, so that's a common myth that happens. People just think it's this one piece of content. In a future video, I'll talk about how you actually go about crafting a piece of content, so you can do some on-page SEO optimization, so it's more likely that that content is going to rank well in Google. So the next thing to do is to go and follow this process. Have a search and use the autocomplete feature in Google to do some research to see what kind of keywords are coming up. go to ubersuggest.com, type in the keyword, sign up for that for free, put your website in, put your keywords in, and watch the rankings over time, and then start producing some awesome content. All right, I hope that helps. See you in the next video.